What was the craziest lie your wife ever told your kids? I was washing dishes when the call from Oakmont Elementary came through my phone. Mr. Lincoln, please don't freak out, but your son just got bit by a lethal spider. I'm not sure what kind it was. He's conscious, but his bite is swelling and turning red. We've already called 911. I didn't hear anything as I was already running toward my truck that was parked in my driveway. I hopped behind the wheel and started driving like a bat out of hell towards my son's school. My phone rang as I was driving and I answered it quickly. Your son is on his way to Johns Memorial Hospital. I thanked the lady on the other end of the call and hung up. I called my ex-wife a second later, but got her voicemail. Annie, call me back. Our son is at Johns Memorial Hospital. I swerved into the hospital parking lot, parked the truck, and ran for the doors. I stopped at the receptionist's desk. She was on the phone, laughing and chatting casually. I cleared my throat loudly to get her attention. She held up a finger and told me to wait. My son! I yelled loudly, running out of patience. She dropped her phone in surprise. What? She asked me. Where's my son? His name is Eli Lincoln. She fumbled with a clipboard and scanned the piece of paper on it. I don't see an Eli Lincoln, she began. A doctor suddenly entered the room, looking tired and upset. Are you Kane Lincoln? He asked me. Yes, I said. Do you know where my son is? The doctor nodded. Your son is stable, but he's in a coma right now. This was in his pocket. I'll take you to his room and you can sit with him. I took the rumpled piece of paper the doctor handed to me and followed him down the hall to one of the rooms where my son was currently lying in. He looked so small in that hospital bed. I glanced at the paper in my hand and paled when I read the words written in my son's handwriting. I'm sorry, Dad. I had to try. I know you told me that spider bites don't give you superpowers, but I have to try. I want to be like Spider-Man. My hand started shaking as I stared at the floor. He did this to himself because he wanted to be a superhero? I couldn't believe this. Jenny, my ex-wife, suddenly burst into the room. Tears fell down her cheeks when she saw our son. What happened? She whispered. Apparently he wanted to see if he could be like Spider-Man, I answered curtly. Why would he do that? I specifically told him that spiders don't give you superpowers. I glanced at Jenny and noticed her red cheeks that I figured was from the cold outside. Something flashed across her face, something that looked an awful lot like guilt, but that couldn't be right. What did she have to be guilty about? Eli suddenly stirred in his bed and his eyelashes fluttered before his eyes blinked open, looking confused. Then his expression dropped when he saw us. Tears filled his eyes and dripped down his cheeks. Are you hurting? I asked quickly. I can get the doctor. No, Eli wailed. I'm not in pain and it just didn't work. Why didn't it work? I stared at him. Eli, I said calmly, superpowers are fiction. Spiders don't give you power, but they can kill you, and we almost lost you today. Eli stared at his mom with a betrayed look on his face. But Mom told me they could, he whispered. Everything in me froze and locked down. I slowly turned to face Jenny, who was deathly pale, swallowing thickly. You told our son that spiders could give him powers? I asked in a dangerously low voice. She said I'll never know for sure unless I'm brave and try, Eli continued. She lied. She did. I nodded, trying to control my anger. You lied, Jenny, and you almost killed our son. Anger suddenly filled her expression and her eyes narrowed on me. Oh, please, she scoffed. I didn't give him the spider and tell him to do that. He's 7 years old, I screamed. She flinched away from me right as the doctor came back into the room. He glared at me, instantly thinking I was the monster for yelling at my ex-wife in front of our kid. I'm calling security, he said, leaving the room quickly. Security came quickly, and I kissed Eli on the forehead before one of the huge guys grabbed my arm and led me out of the room. I turned my head to stare at Jenny and spoke coldly. I'm filing for full custody of our son.